Hello, my name is Andrew Smiklis, and welcome to bestmathteacherever.com. I am a math tutor, I work online, and I'm going to try to put the important stuff all in one video here, so that way you can just have one place to, see my thoughts on this, get some good advice, and get a good plan on how to get started on being your best math self. So, first thing to cover, I think, is, here's my contact information and my credentials, some of the stuff I'm doing online. So, if you use this website, you can find all of my contact information, but then you can also book a session with me. So this gives you my calendar here. You click on one of the times, and then, you can pick 20 minutes or 30 minutes or 60 minutes. You put in your name and phone number, and then it'll take you to Stripe where you can pay with a credit card. It will collect that information securely and separately and then give me the payment. After you do that, it will put a Google Calendar invite on your Google Calendar, and it'll provide a Google Meet link. And when you click on that link at that time, I show up just like this, in the corner of your screen. If you send me your work or send me a link to your work, I can write on the screen. So it's a very convenient way of getting math help. But if you don't know where to start, if you don't have a class that you're working on right now, maybe it's summer or maybe you need you need to do some extra work, here's where I would get started if I were you. So best thing out there right now is Khan Academy. If you've done it in school before, and you don't like it, maybe it's because you haven't seen the right way to use this. And if you haven't seen this before, then this can be a life-changing thing. I mean, I know using Khan Academy sincerely was a life-changing thing for me. So hopefully it works the same for you. You can log in using a Google account. So hopefully, you can just use the one that you would use to book a session with me. And I think keeping it all in Google is, convenient. I'm building my own math practice website as well, and I allow you to log in using Google. So you might as well get a Google account so that way you can use it across all of these applications. But once you've logged in, it'll take you to your dashboard. But I think you need to take note of this up in the upper left-hand corner, the Explore drop-down menu. And, if you look at it, it'll be separated by grade levels. So here they have 2nd grade to 8th grade. I mean, I kind of skip over this one. So 2 to 8. And then here they have, high school and college. So algebra, calculus, geometry, pre-calc, all that stuff. So something for everyone. But for most of the people I work with, I say that, they usually have some weaknesses in their foundations somewhere. Even if you're in honors, even if you're doing really great in math, even if your standardized test scores are showing you're in the 90th percentile, everybody can benefit from going back and cleaning up their foundations and just getting, very fluent with things and very crisp with all of the foundations of math. So the way I see it is, if this is easy to do, then it should be done. You should be able to do it pretty quickly. If it's not easy to do, then maybe that means that it's worth getting better at it. So the way this works is you go in, you click on a grade level, and you want to get everything to mastered. Like, these are all the activities here, and then they're separated into units, and you can see the titles of the units over here. You can click on a unit and it brings you to that chapter. So, you can kind of see the 2nd grade textbook maybe on this screen, and then you can open to one of the chapters on this screen, and then maybe the sections of the chapters are all of those activities. So the boxes are the activities, and then you can group those 4 boxes together into a quiz. So just to show you what an activity looks like, it'll give you questions, right? And you answer those questions. If you get it right, you just move on. If you miss it for some reason, you can, in the corner right here, you can get a hint. It'll explain it step by step how to do things. So, oh, okay, it's supposed to be 18 there. And if you miss 2, you're allowed to restart. So I feel like what that tells you is that you can comfortably skip things if you don't know what's going on, read how to do it, and then easily restart. No big deal. So feel free to skip things if you need to, but if you feel like it's pretty easy, you maybe don't have to do the activities one at a time. You can come and do the quizzes. So like I say, I've already completed 2nd grade because I wanted to show you what it looks like whenever you're finished with something. So now we can move on to maybe 3rd grade and just work our way up. You see how this unit I've already completed. It's proficient. So let's go down to something like Unit 6. And I'm going to start with this first activity here. And again, if you aren't sure what to do, like, oh man, this is a little confusing here, it's not really clear, it's not giving me good instructions. If you go in here, I'll have to move my face a little bit. If you go in the bottom right hand corner over here, you'll see this hints button. So click on that, or skip, and it'll explain it to you. Alright, like, okay, 9/8 looks like this, 5/8 looks like this, and 9/8 is more than 5/8, it's more area. So it goes that way. And then, as you're practicing, if you make a silly mistake or something, like, oh, they're both 7, so they're equal, it'll count you wrong. You come over here to click the hints and get a full explanation of it. Oh, right, yep, this is more 7/6. It's like more than 1 whole. 7/8 isn't even 1 whole. So you miss 2, you restart, and you're like, okay, I get it. I understand it now. So you get them all right. And I'm going to go ahead and complete this just to show you what this looks like. So it gives you a variation of the questions. Sometimes they're pretty similar. Other activities, they aren't so repetitive. So this one's a little repetitive. Sometimes repetitive is good if you're trying to get the basics down. Alright, and like I say, look, see how fast it is? If I know this activity, it's very easy for me, so that means I can do it quickly. And then now that box has turned purple because I was proficient at it. If I had maybe gotten 6 out of 7 or 5 out of 7 correct, it would have turned that to a familiar. If I had missed, if I had only gotten 2 out of 7 correct, it would have put it at attempted. So you are basically trying to turn these boxes into purple. Now, if you feel like, okay, I understand this section pretty easily, I don't want to have to go through each one of these activities to turn them to purple, that's what the quizzes are for. So you can click this button and it'll group all those activities together. And then, based on what you get right here, it'll turn some of those into proficient, into purples, into oranges. So this might be a faster way of leveling up activities that you already feel like you understand. So, like I say, I don't think it's that time consuming to just go through every section and get everything to purples. So you see, that wasn't that hard at all. It was less than a minute. Now notice that it's not going to turn these to the final level, which is mastered. In order to get it to mastered, you have to do the unit test. But I'm going to show you something. I'm going to do this unit test, but I'm going to keep these white right here. And what's going to happen is, again, I'm going to get all these right because I know how equivalent fractions works in 3rd grade. It's a very easy thing for me. So I'm going to get them all right, and I'm going to get them all right quickly. But all of these are going to level up to mastered, but these are only going to level up to proficient. So, again, I'm just going to show you. If you're really that good at it, it should be easy to do it quickly. Here's a good example of this. 10 questions. The hardest thing is taken the time to actually input the answer. So 3/3 and 6/6, so all three of those are the same. Those are different sizes, that's why you can't pick those. And, you know, something 1, 5, 1, 2, 3. Even if you get it right, you could still get an explanation. Let me show you, move my face and show you what that looks like too. Like, you get it right, it'll still say, see how we answered this question, and it'll give you the same explanation that it would have given if you had clicked the hint. So if you feel like you get a little lucky whenever you answer this, I feel like the responsible thing to do is to come through and read it and just make sure you understand it. You know, I think there's a lot of things in life that just because they're easy doesn't mean that you don't benefit from doing it. You know, Tai Chi is a great example of that. It's an easy thing to do, theoretically, but you benefit from focusing on the minutia, the details, and by taking a little bit of time to make sure that you're fluent with the foundations, then whenever you're doing more complicated things, it feels a little bit easier to keep it all, you know, straight in your head. So 5/6 of a minute in Fantasy Farm, and for Magic Flowers, so 5/6 of an hour is more. Sometimes you have to read a little carefully. Maybe that's another thing it teaches you too, is how to go quickly, but also make sure you're not making any brain farts. So you see, all of those turn to crowns, and then all of these are purples. So what does that mean? If I want to get these all to crowns the fastest way, the best way to do it is to just do the unit test twice and get everything right. And again, if you really are that good at it, you should be able to get these right extremely quickly. So you see, it's only 10 questions 2 times. That would be, you know, 20 questions, and 20 questions to, you know, demonstrate to yourself that you really do know how to do all of these things, I think is worth it. Now, let's say you miss something. That means it's going to turn some of them to purple, but then it'll turn some of them orange. And the orange ones are the ones that you miss. I think that's probably helpful to identify which activities are a weakness for you. And not everything's going to be a strength. So here, I guess I'll do this one. And I'll purposefully miss a question or two just to show you what it looks like if you don't get everything. So do all the shapes belong to quadrilaterals? I'm going to say yes and yes just to miss. Oh no, it's actually, no, they're not all quadrilaterals. And they're not all squares. Okay. It's a quadrilateral. I'm gonna get a few right. Okay, which belong to the group? Oh, I don't really know, so I'm just gonna guess. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, that's the one. So now I've missed 2. I'm gonna try to get the other ones right. Rhombus, quadrilateral, doesn't really look like a rectangle. No, not all rhombuses, but yes, all quadrilaterals. Quadrilateral, rectangle, rhombus, and square. Square is a rhombus and a rectangle put together. That's the way I think about it. Which ones belong? I'd say anything with 4 sides. Okay, let's miss another one, just to make sure we're missing enough. Okay. Yes, they're all rectangles, and no, they're not all squares. And then that's a rhombus and a quadrilateral. Alright, so I've got 7 out of 10 correct. You see, it gave me a little bit of credit here for doing some of these. You know, I need to be more proficient with these in order to get them to purple. So it's not going to let me level up on any of them. I guess it's because I missed some of the questions from each activity. So now I know that I can't just come in and do the unit test. I probably need to practice each activity individually. You know, okay, so these are squares, and man, I feel like I got a little lucky on that, so maybe I should read the hint to just get a better idea. Square is a quadrilateral with 4 equal side lengths and 4 right angles. So, okay, there's 4 equal side lengths, and the angles are those parts right there, so those little boxes in the corner. So it has to have 4 equal sides and 4 right angles. Okay, so that's why these two are right. This one doesn't have 4 equal sides. This one doesn't have 4 equal sides or 4 equal angles, so, you can learn while you work through this. And, if you really are good with your foundations, it shouldn't be that hard to get all of this up to 100% all the way through. And I think a lot of times people will underestimate how far down weaknesses can go. I mean, in second grade, there are some tricky ones. Let me see if I can find it. That's the one. Now, there we go. So, there's some ones that you kind of have to think about a little bit. Like, this is in second grade, and, if you think about a second grader, I've taught second graders, they aren't really that great at reading and thinking through strategies like this. So, 46 plus 46, 6 plus 6, and then add 80. You see how you have to take 2 6s and then the 2 40s. That one will work. And then 46 plus 4, and then add 42, and that's just confusing. They don't really understand why you would do 46 plus 4. It's to make 50, and then 50 plus 42 is easier. So, sometimes these can be a little tricky. I mean, I've seen some, middle school students miss these kind of questions, and I don't think there's any shame in that. It's just, learning to read carefully. So I wouldn't skip over the second grade unit so fast. If it took me 15 minutes, 20 minutes to get this from 0 to 100%. I am a math teacher and a tutor, of course, but I don't think it should take more than, a week if you're really that good at it. And, if you really want to make sure you don't have any weaknesses, like say you're in 6th grade, why not just get 100% in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, all the way through, and then start working through the 6th grade material. And what I've seen is that if you really do have a strength with these foundational things, then when you start moving ahead of what you've done in class, it still feels kind of easy because you're taking small steps from what you currently know. And I mean, if you think about something like exponents are really not that hard. I mean, oh man, I don't know what to do here, so I'm going to press skip and get a hint here. And it tells you, okay, 5 to the 3rd power just means 5 times 5 times 5. Okay, so if you know that 5 times 5 is 25, and you know that 25 times 5 is 125, you now know how to do this. Like, you could just read a hint. Okay, so this means 0 times 0 times 0 times 0 times 0. And when you multiply 0 a bunch of times, it's still going to be 0. This means 8 times 8, 64. This means 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2 again, which is 8, times 2 again, which is 16, times 2 again, which is 32. And then, something nice to know is that if you only miss one question, Khan Academy will give you a bonus question. So 2 times 2 times 2, 2, 4, 8. And there you go, turned it to purple. And not that hard to learn that if you don't already know that one. You go, you try it, you press skip if you don't know, you read the hint, and, all of a sudden it makes sense. So I don't think you really got to work that hard to understand new things if your foundations are strong. And again, if you do need help with any of this, just schedule a session. Maybe you want to schedule a session whenever you get started, just so that way I can reassure you that you're doing the right thing. And then another thing that I offer is if you click this button right here on my website, it'll take you to my Khan Academy class where you can join my class and connect your account to mine, which allows me to see your progress. And then whenever we meet for our session, I can, see exactly what you're doing and offer you advice. I can see the questions you're missing, the activities you're working on, literally everything. So I think if you are looking to get better at math and you're not really sure where to start, this is a great place. And really all you need is a Google account. Everything else, at least Khan Academy is free. I try to keep my session rates pretty reasonable so that way it's not, hurting you in the pocket too bad. There's no commitments or contracts or anything like that, so you can just drop in, get the help that you need. And, I know that our math education system in the US is not the best right now. So if you are struggling, I just want to reassure you, it's not your fault. Probably. Could be a little bit your fault, but there's lots of reasons why it could not be your fault too. And even though it's not your fault, it is your problem. And I think there are ways of solving this problem. And this is, again, a great place to start. So good luck on getting started. And again, if you need help, I'm here for you. Just go to bestmathteacherever.com and I'll be there. So see you soon.